Hello and good morning, and hope everybody's doing well. So today's question is, should you buy a 12 terabyte 5-in-1 from Kinhank? Now there's lots of good features on it. I mean, I've had it for 8 months and I've done over 300 odd videos showing you some of the gameplay. But there are a few problems with the system. Mainly some of the games obviously don't work, they've not been correctly dumped onto the system. You have audio problems on a few of them, not many. I've experienced about 40 games where there's been an issue. And it's not on one system, it's on, seems to be on every system. I tried to play 007 Ration on the PS1 and it just would not go forward. It would not drive forward. It would go backwards, it would turn, but it wouldn't go forward. So yeah, there are some teething problems on the system itself. On top of that, you've got the Panasonic 3DO, which does have some adult content on it. They are not games. So I don't understand why they are on there. They have no business being on there. But unfortunately I cannot show you the content of that, otherwise I'll end up getting a warning off of YouTube. But there seems to be, from what I've experienced, there's about 100, maybe, well it's probably more, but I've experienced about 100 adult content games and videos. The ones on the Panasonic 3DO, they are not games, they are technically videos by Vivid International, which I bought this to play games, not really interested in that, but I know some people are, so if it's your kind of thing, then yeah, go for it, get one. But gameplay wise, it's absolutely brilliant. It's perfect for kids, but what I would say is if you're going to allow them to play on the Panasonic version, delete the games off, delete the adult content off it. You can do that, and it is quite easy to add new ROMs onto the system. The pain in the backside is actually configuring it all. But yes, I would say if you're into gaming and you want to introduce your children to it, you've got young children, you want to put games on that's colourful and things like that, then yeah, go ahead and get one. By all means. I mean, I really enjoy playing it. I also, obviously, I've got a PlayStation, I've got PlayStations as well. All of them, apart from one, which really don't need PlayStation 1 anyway. I've got the actual physical consoles. And I also have the physical discs. But if you've got young children, because nowadays games are not catered for children really, not unless you buy a Nintendo Switch, which majority of that is catered for young children. But what I've found with some of these games on here, they are harder than the new games. I mean, I play new games as well on the PlayStation, but they are harder on here, some of the old games, than the newer games are nowadays, which is quite fun and quite frustrating sometimes. I mean, there is a Nintendo Switch on here as well. How Kinhank's got away with that, I don't know. Now, as for purchasing one of these, I suggest you use AliExpress and go to Kinhank's official store rather than the actual website, because it is expensive on the actual website, but it's cheaper on AliExpress. But if you don't want to go to AliExpress and you want to purchase from the website, go ahead, that's absolutely fine. But you will find discounts and things like that on AliExpress. That's where I got mine from, because I checked out the prices on Kinhank and it was £370 at the time, and I managed to get it for £165 with a lot of discount codes on AliExpress. So I'll have a look, see what's on here. I'll let you have a look. I already know what's on here, so let's have a look through hyperspin quickly. I mean, there's lots of games on here. I think it stands at about 54,000, give or take. Let me adjust the projector, because obviously I can see it perfectly. Unfortunately, on the phone when I'm filming, it's a bit too bright. Let's clock it down to 30. That might change, so that's better. A lot better on the phone. But yes, there's lots of games on here, but you will find a lot of duplicates as well. And I know people get a bit frustrated with lots of duplicates on there, but obviously from different regions around the world, you have different rules, different laws, and so on. You can't have this on, you can't have this on, and so on. So obviously, yeah, it's got Japanese games on, American games, obviously made for Europe and so on. But you will find a lot of duplicates, especially on the main. But yes, you've got light gun games as well, which you would need a Sinden light gun to play this. Normal light guns will not work on it. I think Sinden light guns are about £120. Well, they are on eBay. And they're the only light guns that actually work with projectors and new tellies, HD tellies, flat screen TVs, whatever you want to call them. But there is a lot of decent games on here. So I'll just blitz through quickly because we've got 4 other systems to go through. Please let me know if you've got one yourself and how you're getting on with it. But Kinhank need to definitely make sure that all the games work when they are loading this stuff onto the system. I know that would take a long time, since there's like alleged 86,000 games on here, and 54,000 are on this. So it would be more cost effective if you actually go on AliExpress and buy it. But like I say, it's easy to delete the games off, it's easy to put games on, but it's the configuration you've got to mess about with for the games that you've added. When I bought this, I had the controller come with it, so it was already set up, but you still get the odd teething problem. Like I said, on 007 Racing it will not work. Things like this, it works perfectly. Absolute classic, Outrun, brilliant game. Kids love this, well they did back then. So if you've got small children, buy one. Pretty easy to set up, but you will need a PC, it will not just plug straight into your telly. Kinhank do one that plugs straight into your telly, that's got 16,000 games on, all the way up to PS2. I mean, this one goes all the way up to PS3, Xbox 360, and it does have newer games on like FIFA 19 and stuff like that. But if you like your old Sega games or Super Nintendo, then this has got quite a lot of. I mean, shotgun farmers, I've no idea why they call it shotgun farmers. I'm sure you use more weapons than a shotgun. And I don't think you're a farmer, that hell. Hyper Neo Geo. It's got 7 games on. Neo Geo CD, 95 games. Remember the old Neo Geo? They were quite expensive for what they were at the time. So they are quite rare. People never got around to buying them. All Street Fighters, lots of those. Tekken, if you're into that, Tekken's a pretty good game. Turtles, 26 games. Let's have a look. So I mean, lots of duplicates, but 4-player version, Asia, UK version, 4-player. So yeah, you will find a lot of multiples, but that's due to different territories, I'm guessing. Not entirely sure, but I'm just taking a guess. The classic Hulk Hogan theme tune when wrestling was interesting. Yeah, I've not played any of these yet, apart from, oh yeah, I've actually, WrestleMania Superstars. This was a pretty good game back in the day on the arcade. Used to like playing this, loved playing this game. But there's quite a few duplicates of that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 duplicates. One's a bootleg. One's US Revision 7. What the hell that is? Revision 6. Oh dear. 4. Japan. WrestleFest. Japanese version, and there's duplicates of that too. You find there's duplicates of a lot of them, especially games like this, because there is a big thing. Wrestle War, yeah, I remember this one. I think it was on the Super Nintendo. Quite a fun game. Yeah, there's some good games on there. We'll get around to playing at some point. All games on the hyperspin, 54,129. So let's move along. Teknoparrot. But you will need a PC, like I said. I suggest something with an i3 or higher. You'll need that to play the PS3 games, Xbox games. PS2, PS1 games, they all run fine on this. These ones are obviously slightly more up to date than MAME Arcade. There's 127 games on the teknoparrot. You've also got kodi on here if you like to watch movies, stuff like that. Not really bother me. I've got a Fire Stick. Right, Big Box and Retrobat are technically the same thing. They've all got the same games on. It's just a different emulator, that's all. Play Night is the one with the more up-to-date games on. When it loads in. Obviously my PC's just not fast enough at the minute. I need to buy a new one. So yeah, these are the more up-to-date games. A lot of Angry Birds, all different ones. Cyberpunk, Dead or Alive 6, Devil May Cry 5. One of my favourite games, Devil May Cry. One of my favourite franchises. FIFA 19, God of War, Final Fantasy, Dragon Ball Z, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption 2, Tomb Raider. So yeah, it's very limited on here, but like I say, you can actually add your own games. You just got to configure it to your control pad, joypad, controller, or whatever, to actually get it on. So that's Play Night. There's not really many games on there, just take up a lot of space being newer games. Retrobat, like I say, is the same as Big Box or Launch Box, whatever you want to call it. Obviously I bought one of these, not to replace the consoles I've got or the games I've got, but to save usage on my discs and things like that. Eventually everything will go digital. Well, I'm not really into paying £90 for a goddamn game, because they can control how much you want to spend on games then. You shot it, and there's no resale value in digital games. You can't exactly sell them on. Whereas obviously physical disc copies of the games are a lot better. Right, PlayStation 1604, PS2 games 642, PSP 825, PSP Minis 312, PS3 172 games. Alright, let's have a look on the PS3, see what's in here. So you've got Quantum of Solace, a lot of obviously Afro Samurai, which is a bit of a classic, and that is still quite expensive to buy on physical disc for what it is. A lot of these games I've already got on physical disc anyway. Alpha Protocol, I've got that one. Army of 2, I've got all 3 Army of 2s. Got the Batmans, got Bayonetta. Game of the Year edition, Arkham Asylum. But yes, even Call of Duty if you're into that. I'm not into Call of Duty. I find it quite boring, especially playing online. I don't mind doing the campaign, that's your game, but playing online is rubbish. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your opinion. If I'm wrong, you tell me why I'm wrong. I mean, this is still expensive. It's about £20 to buy, give or take. Lords of Shadow 2. I've got the first one, but I'm not really into paying about £15 for that, unless I get it cheaper somewhere else. I mean, my collection's growing all the time. Even when I get duplicates, I don't get rid of them, I just store them away. So yeah, lots of different games on here. If you're into the PlayStation, like I am. I had an Xbox, I had a PlayStation, I had them all together at the same time, and I found myself playing the PlayStation more. I enjoyed the control pad more. Unfortunately, with this 12TB box, I get a Xbox controller, but that's okay. Yeah, so there's you get Hitman HD Trilogy. Why they've only put Kane Lynch 2 on, I don't know, but like I say, you can add it yourself. Lego games are always pretty fun, quite a laugh. So yeah, perfect for children if you've got kids and you want them to interact with you, play the game as well. It's a good way to interact with your children. I mean, Lollipop Chainsaw, obviously not. It's a good way to interact with your children, get them into gaming if you're into gaming. Spend time with them. It's a good way. And it's all, if you suffer with anxiety and things like that, computing, brilliant for that. It takes your mind off other things, so it'll drop your anxiety levels down. At least 70%, give or take. But obviously that's just my opinion and experience. Obviously I don't suffer with anxiety, but I know people that do. Also I know people that do game a lot. And they've expressed that while they're playing games, they don't suffer any anxiety because they're too busy concentrating on what they're trying to do. Please let me know if you suffer with anything like that and what you do to combat it. Yeah, Silent Hill. But yes, like I say, there's quite a few games on the PlayStation 3. You've got PS Vita, all games, which is 31,803. So yeah, there is 86,000 plus games on here. Arcade, 5 games, what's this then? Never looked in here. Okay. Star Wars Pod Racer. Oh. Cool. I'll have to have a go at that at some point. Light gun games. Like I say, you'll need a Sinden light gun. £120 on eBay, or if you go straight to Sinden, I'm not entirely sure how much they cost at Sinden. Alright, okay, there seems to be a few games in here, lots of different ones from lots of different systems. Ghost Squad from Nintendo Wii, PlayStation, Nintendo. Master System. That was quite a funny game. Oh, Safari one, yeah. I was just wondering why it's on there. Mega Drive. Mad Dog 2. I've got the Mad Dog games on the Nintendo Wii because I also have 2 Nintendo Wiis. Yeah, Operation Wolf. Now that was a different kind of game. Amstrad, okay. It was good in the arcade. It's also on the main. You find that on the main category, so you get to play it as it was intended rather than on a console. Commodore 64, I had one of them. But yeah, so that's the light gun games last played. No games in there. Why is it even on there? Never mind. Configuration for retrobat, Panasonic 3DO. Obviously I've already put a video on there of what games is in the Panasonic. If you always remember one of these, I had one of these with a green screen. Amstrad CPC 464 cassette. it felt like it took ages to load up, which a lot of the time it did, about 20 minutes, give or take. Which was pretty bad if you look at it from nowadays, but back then it was pretty good. I mean, let's have a look what's actually on it. So yeah, it took about 10 minutes to actually load up 10th frame just to play bowling. Absolutely crazy. 3D Grand Prix. Let's go down the list. Let's see if Cobra's on here. Oh, I've gone too far down. Alright. No, I guess not. They've got Cobra on here. I used to play that. Quite a good game. You know, Sylvester Stallone. It would take about 15, 16 minutes to load up. When you did a level, you had to load again. And that's probably the worst thing. But anyway, let's get out of there. Atari 2600. I had one of these. I never had any others. Atari ST. They were pretty good back in the day. Atari Lynx, Jaguar. If anybody ever had a Jaguar, I never had the pleasure of owning a Jaguar. I mean, it looks pretty good to be fair. Double Dragon 5, so look at that. Okay. Doom, everybody knows what Doom is. Fever Pitch Soccer. Alright, okay. That looks pretty quick. Wonder Swan. Lots of these consoles never had. Obviously I had C64, that was pretty took ages. Just like the Amstrad. Amiga. But yes, there's lots of systems on here that I've never even heard of, and I'm sure you've never heard of. But they're all different in their own right. Okay. Arkanoid. Do you remember that? You used to get that on your phone. Xbox. 62 games on the Xbox. On the original Xbox, that is. 100 bullets. Never heard of this game, so. I'll have to look into that, I think. And Heart Alive. Baldur's Gate. But yes, there's quite a few games for 62. Well, quite a few good games, we'll say. Hollywood Stunt Driver. Okay. Major League Soccer. Alright, okay. I guess Marco Echeverry's in there, I think, maybe. 23 years old. Forza Motorsport. Kung Fu Chaos. Alright, okay. Xbox 360, 115. There's Combat Assault Horizon. I've got the special edition of that on the PS3. Pretty good game. Air Conflict in Vietnam. Dante's Inferno. Absolutely brilliant game. So yes, we've got 115 games in the Xbox 360. And obviously we'll go through Turbo Graphics, PC Engine, all that. Nintendo Family Computer. If you ever had one of them. There's the NES. Remember the NES? I like Elm Street. I guess, well, it's the Hacks one. Nintendo Game Boy. 863 games. Didn't really like the Game Boy. It's green screen. Super Famicom, 525 games. Obviously this is Japanese, this one. It's the Japanese one. Super Nintendo, 2,172 games. So if you had one of these back in the day, these were absolute brilliant systems. I never had one, but my best mate, my best friend, still my best friend, call him my brother, he had one. He used to buy games from America, to have the converter for the cartridge. And spent many happy hours playing on this. I had the Mega Drive, he had the Super Nintendo. Super Game Boy. It's a Teleview. I mean, I don't even know what that is. Virtual Boy, Nintendo 64. I know lots of people seem to like the N64, even though it did have a few problems, especially with certain games. But it did have a few games. Pretty good, to be fair. Never had one. Please let me know if you ever had one. GameCube, DS, 2098 games, Nintendo Wii, 600 or I can't really see, 667, WiiWare, Wii U, Nintendo DS, 3DS that is, 493 games. Let's have a look at the Wii. Contra Solace. I mean, obviously there's a lot of games on here you can actually just use control pad for, but things like Sport Party Megamix and stuff like that, where you've got to use a gun or controller, it'll be a little bit harder with Edison than light gun. Harder, not impossible. I mean, I don't know why it says media missing. The game still plays it, so it still comes on. So, Wii U, 110 games. Nintendo Switch. Now, how Kinhank have got away with this, I do not know. Yeah, lots of kids' games. Like Kid in Miracle World. Alright. I remember the first one. I used to play the first one in the arcade. Bayonetta 2. Oh, so they've got some really good games on here too. Oh dear me, let's go down the list. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Okay. Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, so 203 games for Nintendo Switch. Philips CDI, this was another thing out at the same time as Panasonic 3DO. Another console I never really got because it was far too expensive for what it was. I've not even looked at the CDI. Oh, there's Bad Dog 2. I mean, that must have been an absolute pain in the backside trying to use a controller to shoot them. Oh my goodness. There we go. Strip Poker Live. This obviously has some adult content on it as well. Jesus Christ. Thunder in Paradise, Hulk Hogan. Oh, well, you definitely need one for that. Alright, I guess that's another. And another. So that's 5 adult themed things. If you're into that sort of thing, please go buy one. Beats of Rage. Strange names for some games here. Battletoads Double Dragon. Okay. Beats of Rage original. Crime Buster. Doom Ultra Violence. Okay. Fatal Fury. Final Fight. Final Fight DC. Okay, I'll have a look at them a little bit later on. Do some gameplay on it and put it on YouTube and TikTok. Mega Drive, Genesis, Game Gear, CD, Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast. Sega Dreamcast, 333 games, Sega Saturn, 306. So, there we go, back to the front. So yes, in my opinion, should you buy one of these? Yes. Does it have a few problems every so often? Of course. At the end of the day, it's all emulation, so you will have the odd game that won't work. So yes, you should get one of these, reduce your anxiety levels, relive your childhood days, your youth, introduce your children to this before they start playing the idiocy of online gaming. Online gaming's alright, but you know, sometimes you just want to play on your own or play with your friends in person rather than on the other end of a microphone. So yes, please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Look out for the free competition. If I can get 1,000 subscribers by the 22nd of April this year, 2025, then I will put everybody's name in a draw. Doesn't matter where you live, I'll post it worldwide, tracked worldwide, and you'll get a mini PC to play it on, but I'll make sure it's an i3 or higher. You'll get the 12 terabyte hard drive, keyboard, mouse, and also a soundbar. That's what I'm playing it through now. So if you want to win one rather than buy one, let's get me up to 1,000 subscribers by the 22nd of April. Otherwise, it'll be when I get 1,000 subscribers sometime this year, I hope, and that's when I'll draw it. So if we get it by the 22nd of April, I will draw it on the 22nd of April. If not, then I will draw it whenever I hit 1,000 subscribers. And then after that, every month, I will put free competitions on every month. So please leave me a comment. Let me know if you've ever had any of the systems that's on there. that I never had. And let me know about your experiences with them. But should you buy a 12TB from Kinhank? Definitely. For all its drawbacks of some of the games not working, there is thousands and thousands of games that do work. There's probably about 100 that don't work out of the 86,000, give or take. And yes, there's a lot of duplicates, but they're from different territories, and this is why you have duplicates. Different countries have different rules when it comes to video gaming. So yes, please do. Please buy one. Definitely. Enjoy. Till laters, be safe.